welcome to Traveling Through Pages. Every page of a book teaches us something new. Similarly, we can learn a lot by conversing with a person. Most of the knowledge we gain from them would aid us in life. And in this show, we will develop a better reading habit and learn how to study well from interviews with inspiring and avid readers. I'm on a journey to unfold fascinating pages and acquire knowledge from them. Come along with me on this journey. This is me, Aradhna Umesh, accompanying you today. So today we don't have one guest, we have two guests on our show, Shweta ma'am and her son Adhruth, who's 6 years old. Hi Adhruth.
Hi Aradhna. Thank you for having us.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you so much for joining in today.
Thank you. Okay. And you're also an inspiration, Aradhna, with your pages and inspiring people to read and the libraries you have set up. You are a child prodigy, I think. And you're a true inspiration for people like us also.
Adhruth is also such an inspiration because at the age of 6, he co-authored a book, right? We'll get more into it as the interview progress. Okay, so yeah. You wanted to say something?
I think better because you're so young and you've set up so many libraries already.
Thank you so much. You're young too. You're younger than me. Half my age, I think. Okay, so tell me more about yourself, Adhruth, and ma'am. You also tell me more about yourself, your son. What's his hobbies? What are your hobbies? What's the awards you've gotten, achievements, and everything?
Read books, and you see, whenever the Kukarnas tell me to take some eggs, I always take them. Sometimes I give them, but mainly I keep them. Me only today I collected an egg and kept it in a box. My other hobbies like playing a lot and running and about and scootering and everything.
What's your favorite book?
Nori.
So the thing is, in my journey as somebody, so I have this page called The Reading Elf, and I also work with trying to inspire people, especially children, to read. And my journey began when I was pregnant. So when you're pregnant, the mother wants the best for her child. So I wanted to give like the world to my child, and that's not possible. So the next best thing, in India, we have this thing called Garbha Sanskar. Whatever you read, whatever the mother reads, it goes to the child. The child does listen, recognize voices, and so on. So we started reading for my son when I was pregnant. And from the day he was born, literally, every day. Initially, it was 15 minutes. It was on Small Gingerbread Boy, this stuff like that. But then it went on to, we still read to him. It's a bedtime, this thing. But I realized a lot of mothers are like me. They want to give their children the best, but they don't know how. They don't know what it is that the child needs, what it is that the child requires to have a good this thing. No mother doesn't want to give that. So I started helping out that way with my page. I'm actually an engineer and lawyer with a management degree also.
That's so sweet, ma'am. Like, you want to give the whole world to your child. The next thing that you can give instead of a world is books. Everyone should learn from you all. You're such an inspiration to all mothers. All mothers, I think they want to make sure that their kids are interested in reading, but the thing is they don't start it from a young age. And you have started it right from when you were pregnant. That was really great, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So you have also co-authored a book, right? I've heard about that you and your son co-authored a book. Do you mind talking about that book? What is it about?
Yes. This is the book.
I got it here.
It's called Fascinating Flags for Fun.
Okay.
Fascinating Flags for Fun. Inside it, we have some cool facts like games. This page my sister designed. This page my sister designed, but the rest me and my mother designed.
So how it began was, it was the holidays, and I didn't know how to keep him occupied. And it's a long time to, and I didn't want him to get into TVs and television and screen and all that. So I thought, okay, let's learn about flags. Let's teach him this country's flag and all that. A lot of children, if you'll notice, they know all the country's flags and
Yes,
stuff like
Vansi.
that. So let's teach him that. But honestly, Aradhana, I found it boring. He also found it boring. I also found it boring. So I started looking for books which might have, some interesting books. There were a few sticker books online, and we got them. Again, it was not something that will keep, it'll not stay in your mind. Just doing a couple of stickers, the flag doesn't stay in your mind. So we started wondering, okay, what do these colors mean? So a flag has, for example, our country flag has orange, white, and green. Why do we have those colors? How did it come across that particular shape, or why that particular symbol is there? So we started researching. We picked up flags that we thought looked very interesting, and
Like these ones.
Oh, great. Adhruth,
So
what's
we
your
looked.
favorite flag? What's your favorite one?
My favorite one is the Mozambique flag.
Why? Why is it favorite?
Because I like guns and guns in the flag.
Like
It's
what?
got guns. He likes guns, and it has guns in the flag. So we started looking up the meanings. Why is there a gun in the flag, for instance, and why there's a specific color in the flag? And we realized that every flag has a story. It tells you the story of the country. And that was so fascinating. I don't know. It was supposed to be just 10 flags. It became, okay, let's do 20, let's do 50. And then I think we have more than 70 flags in the book with activities, which he did. So I just put that as workbooks because it's good for parents. It helps parents to make the child revise, or like
Yeah.
a game or something like that. So
That's why we have like put fascinating flags for fun, because they're fascinating and they're flags, but they also help in studying a lot.
Yeah, very true. Yes, ma'am. So, what are the challenges you face? Because he's a very young boy, right? How did you make sure that he needs to sit and listen to you and write along with you?
Uh, honestly, it was actually very easy, and it sounds very arrogant in a way to say it was very easy, but it was because we had fun doing it. So
Oh,
if there was a we didn't feel like reading about flags, then that day we wouldn't do anything. We would just read some other book. We would just do something else. And if there was, and we selected the flag. So if we didn't find a flag interesting, we didn't read about it. We didn't do research on it. We didn't write about
is it like a
it.
collective decision that you feel like this flag is very interesting, or it's only Adhruth's voice that where he decides which flag?
Both are.
Both of us, both of us. First it was my mom's, then it was my mom and dad wrote a previous book alone.
Okay, let's finish
This
talking.
was like my mom's book, my dad's book. Oh, this is my dad's.
The whole family is writing a book. That's so nice. I would love to
Right.
hear about the other books.
Family. Not exactly the whole family, most of the family, like just us. Our sister wants to join, and we're planning to do video calls for our next book. We've already started in our next book called More
So
Family.
your cousin's sister.
My niece, yes, my niece.
Okay. And why don't you talk about the book you've also authored?
My mom, I authored. It's called Promises Kept. It's for older people. It's about a girl who comes down from the US, and how she gets embroiled in the local politics and so on. It's set in India, in an imaginary state in India. And I think I took 10 years to write it because I wrote it whenever I was bored. It was my how do you say, therapy when I was bored, or when I needed to talk
Hobby,
about
like
something.
hobby.
Yes, like a hobby. So it took me 10 years. Then I realized my husband is finishing his book, and I didn't want him to publish without me. So I immediately finished mine. He says, and I'm quoting him here. He says this quite often. He says, "நான் எழுதுறேன் தெரிஞ்ச உடனே 10 வருஷமா எழுதின book 10 நாள்ல முடிச்சிட்டாக்கா."
You wouldn't like it when someone else is publishing, but not you. Yes, I get you.
And book is called Travel Tales of a Cop, and I think you might enjoy it if you haven't read it yet, Aradhana. It's about his travels across UK when he was about a few years ago when Adhruth was just a baby. My husband won a scholarship to London, to a university in London, and these are basically notes that he made when he was there. His observations
It's about
on.
it's not fiction. That is so cool to write about your own life.
Yes, and just bits and pieces, like observations, like the way they recycle and the way what he wishes we would imitate from them. The fact that our flag was there, or just simple stuff. The Tamil community, just basic observations. Or even they have these potted plants hanging from in the pavement, in some places. Even that, just small observations, small wishes that he wishes we would emulate, or
It's way
just
to
that
appreciate nature.
so that was his book. So we all wrote. That was last year.
Mhm.
And this Adhruth and I did this fascinating flags for fun. It's mine.
Yeah.
I want to talk.
And so, yeah. You wanna?
Actually, my sister also started the same thing. She's
Yeah, I also
already
write notes.
noted down. I hope one day, hey, she'll make this into a book like how my dad did.
Yeah.
So carry a little notepad with us always to make down notes when we think of something, or an idea of something we want to say, or a nice quote, or just some a little just little observations. We write it down. So I do have a book like that now.
Yeah, ma'am. I know that you like have this reading elf and you're a book consultant, right? So how did you get that idea and that interest to like start being a book consultant, giving book reviews and uploading it on Insta?
So it started because a lot of mothers started when they realized I love books. And so they started asking, and a lot of people, if you notice, they come from backgrounds where they are very well educated, but they would have focused only in their studies. They would not have read books, but they understand how important books are, so they want it for their children. So they would ask me for recommendations, or they would say, "My child doesn't read. What can I do?" So I started helping them out that way. And I thought, this is one to one person asking me and me helping, but there must be so many people who want to help their kids, but they cannot, because they don't know how to. So that's how the page started, with the desire to help, actually.
Yes, ma'am. And there are many people who do not know how to like make sure their child starts and gets into reading, and that's why I am doing all this stuff. And I'm so happy that you are also like doing all this so that people will start reading. So, what are your recommendations, ma'am? What would you tell for what would you like advise the mothers or something like that? Give suggestions to them for the kids to read.
Okay, so give me just one second. So the thing is, if possible, start really young. If it's not possible, it's not too late. You can start even today. And just if so, for example, you're starting with a 6-year-old. You haven't read all these years, but you're starting with a 6-year-old. See what he or she likes, is interested in. Suppose they like sports, then pick up a book that's related to sports. They like ogres, monsters, then a book related to that. And just initially, they don't need to read for an hour. They don't need to read for the whole day. Just 5-10 minutes a day is fine. And I would tell parents that they also need to read. So children, they emulate us in ways that we can't even imagine. So when you are sitting in your free time and watching TV, that's what you're teaching your child, to watch TV. No, I am not saying anything against parents who watch TV,
No,
but
ma'am,
I
it
would
is
say set.
actually true. I mean, even it comes with my parent. My parent, they would say you need to study more, not waste your time talking to your friends, don't watch TV and all. But they do the same thing. I mean, I understand kids do follow their parents, and I
So
get
when
it.
And sometimes parents come back saying, this book you recommended, my child is not interested. A 3-year-old child. The way to make them interested is to you show interest in that book. When the parent is looking at the book and just turning the pages, the child automatically wants to see what the parent is doing. If they go back home and they see what is happening in the house, many kids will be making chapati with the chapati dough. They like watching TV. They play with the laptop because that's what they see parents do. So when
Yeah.
they see the reading a book. That's what they're automatically going to think. And then they slowly develop their own interest. If a parent is starting with a baby, in that case, any book will do, Aradhana. Honestly speaking, first 6 months, the child is a captive audience. He has to listen to whatever you read. So we read whatever we felt like at that time. I think I read Jane Goodall and David Attenborough to him when he was 6, because that was what I was reading at the time. But once they're about 3, 4 months old, it's nice to have books with repetitive words, words with rhyming words, and maybe, a single picture per page and all that for the smaller children. As they grow older, it actually depends on the child's interest. And I would also make a suggestion to parents to please at least flip through the book or ask somebody else for suggestions before they give it to the child, because there are some books which are said to be children's books, but they don't really give a good message for children. It's better for parents to just skim at least through the books before they give it to their child.
Yes, ma'am. So you only recommend books for children, or you also want to recommend books for adults? Do you recommend books for adults and young adults?
I not for young adults, because I don't have much experience in that. My personal research is only till 10 to 12, maximum 14. Now I've started recently. Then adults, I read a lot, Aradhana. So anything if he asks me, I just say, okay, what are your interests? Okay, you like history, then this might help you. Okay, you like non-fiction, this might help you. So I do, but it's not in my page. It's something, if somebody asks me, personally, I will do. It's not in my page.
Okay, it's like when someone asks you what book to read, you're always there to like help them, but you're not like doing it as an interest. Okay. So how do you manage your time between your book consulting thing and your other responsibilities, like taking care of your child and other things, your job and everything?
As
My
of
mom
now,
doesn't take
I work
like
as a consultant now. Yeah,
my mom doesn't work much. She only works on the computer. Like sometimes I just play inside the room and she'll be working or working on a flag book or working on the previous one or doing corrections of something or doing her office work. Like she does work quite rarely. Very important things she doesn't work much. But for me, if a child is not even able to read, like a 10-year-old child is not even able to read.
Can I say that? So basically, I do my work when he's in school now, because he's in school, it's easier. I try to set up specific time. So I work from home right now. It's usually once he goes to school, I try to finish it before he is back. If he's at home, I tell him, Mommy is working. It's something small, it's something major. So can you play while I'm doing? Can you color? Can you something like that? But bedtime, we always read to him. We always read before bedtime for him. And the reading elf page, I haven't been consistent recently, but usually I try to put at least one book a day. Usually something that I'm already reading to him. So it's actually, I finish it, I do the thing, I just click a picture. I don't spend more than 10-15 minutes on the page actually. And on social media also very, very less time. And once I realized, when we're not on social media or checking our phone constantly, we have a lot more time in hand. So that's how I managed my time. I avoid working in the weekends when he's there. I avoid I know that's a luxury. Many parents cannot do that. But maybe instead of telling the kid that I'm busy, don't disturb, maybe we can say something like, I need to get this done. You are very important, but I need to get this done. So I'm unable to
In a
give you
lighter way
that
that the child would understand.
understand. And this is something that I need to do. But can you color while I'm doing it? Or can you write a letter while I'm doing it? So the children are very understanding actually when things are put to them in a certain way. So I've been lucky that way also, that I was able to get more flexible work hours. That's how I manage.
So what's your reading time? How long do you read every day?
Like for So it depends on the mood I am. Today I didn't read it. For me, if a 10-year-old is not even able to read this, then I would have said like, don't stop video games, stop TV, stop playing too much. Like you should have a certain limit for everything. If you study or play for at least 5-10 minutes, keep at least 10 minutes or 5 minutes as your reading time. Don't play too much. So like, no video games.
No.
So all that is too much. So please stop them. I would have said like that, and I wouldn't have been quite happy because even I can read
Yes.
quite a lot.
Can-
Like I can read like 10 standard books and everything. So
Can I-
I'd be a little upset.
Okay. So I'm
Keep
sorry.
interrupting me, and I'm not interrupting you so much.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
it's fine. It's fine. We can all. You know what? Once you and me, without Amma, we'll have a call and I'll ask you everything. Okay? Deal? Okay? Okay.
I'm sorry. It's just that Akka has very less time. Then the whole thing will go. So I was interrupting you. Okay.
But that doesn't mean
Okay, I won't do it again.
because what are you talking about?
Okay, I know. So, I'm sorry. So I'm sorry. What was your question, Aradhna? It was
How long does he read on a daily basis?
actually answered that right. Some days it's only 15 minutes before bed. Sometimes it's an entire naughty book. Sometimes it's like some 5, 6 books. It really depends on his mood. We don't force him. We've actually never forced. But bedtime compulsory we read because his father is home usually, so his father tries to read. If his father is not at home, then I read. But bedtime, the last 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes is always reading time for him. The rest of the day depends on his mood.
Okay. Adhruth, tell me, what's your favorite book?
My favorite book is Naughty. These are the naughties which I've got so far.
Why do you like it? What's so special about it?
Naughty because those are quite, long and very understanding. If you see, they all have a meaning behind them. Like these ones, Naughty at the Seaside, and got like this one has got be careful all the time. This one has got, if you're good, somebody will be good to you. This one is saying that try your best to look out of bad men. This one says that they don't help too many people. You might end up in danger yourself. So
Don't help strangers.
I like taxi drivers can help strangers. Only too many people listen to them.
Too many people.
So all naughty books have got a meaning behind them.
Moral.
Meaning.
Okay.
And you like to also?
Yes.
You like.
Plus, this is like Toy Town. It's basically a wooden doll who's entered into Toy Town, who's run away from his owner and entered Toy Town. That's why if you look at it, he's quite new to Toy Town, so everybody's a little rude to him. He's a taxi driver. You see, like if I'll show you something. If you see one of the books, you'll know that he's actually a taxi driver.
Oh, that's right in the picture. And then.
Wow, that's really nice. It's really nice that you're reading a lot of books here.
It is like he's a taxi driver if you look at it.
Oh, that's great. Wow. Okay. So, ma'am, do you have any future plans on writing, co-authoring another book with your child, or you yourself writing another book individually?
We have actually already started because we got so into flags that we thought we'll do another book with little more activity for flags. And I'm also writing my own story at this point. It's based on Coimbatore during the colonial period. And that's a lot of research for me. So that's my excuse to read a lot of historical fiction right now in history. So I've been doing a lot of research now. And don't bring that here. No. I've been doing a lot of research on that, and hopefully it get done in under 6 months. That's 2 books on the pipeline for us right now.
Oh, that's really great, ma'am. I hope that you will release the books, and I'll make sure that I'll get those books and I'll read it.
Thank you. Thank
So
you.
now we'll have a rapid fire round. Where is Adhruth?
He's here. Rapid fire, one word answers. Okay.
Rapid fire. Ready? Now Amma can't
Okay.
interrupt you.
Oh no.
Okay. So, what's your favorite time of the day?
My favorite time of the day is when my dad pulls me to the bathroom and makes me brush.
Ah, so nice. Okay. Your favorite memory with your mom?
Remembering the time my mom never scolded me and I was studying so well.
You're still studying while that.
You're the
But yeah,
master of
mommy is
fitness.
more strict now.
It's fine. What do you like? Beaches or mountains?
What?
Beach or mountains?
Beach or mountains?
Beach. Because mountains, whenever I climb up a mountain, I get vomiting feeling. So I like beach. Beach is better. No matter how dangerous people say are beaches, I like that better.
Okay. What's your favorite food?
My favorite food is chicken biryani.
Wow. Okay.
What? Dosa or normal dosa?
And one question to your mom.
Yes, pardon?
Yeah.
My
One
turn?
question to your mom. What author do you think first when you hear the word children's book?
Julia Donaldson.
Oh, okay. Why though?
Because okay, okay. Julia Donaldson is because I love the storyline, the rhyming words, the repetitive words, and the stories are a little unique also. And I think that was a favorite. That was a favorite for nearly 3 years. She's written quite a few books. They're nice for practicing reading also because they're
Oh,
rhyming words and everything with beautiful illustrations. But I think illustrations are of course by somebody else, Axel like that. But
Scheffler.
Scheffler, okay.
and
But yeah, so
what are like few books that you would recommend? 2 or 3 books you'll recommend for children to read, like must read.
um you mean by the time you're 10 or 12, then or you want
To 6 to 10 or something like that.
to 10. Enid Blyton. Every child should read Enid Blyton because
I was also
those
I used to love Enid Blyton books so much when I was a small kid.
I mean, I just loved it. I think my memory is climbing and sitting on a tree and reading them so that my mom doesn't find me during the holidays. Enid Blyton, everybody should read. And then now, of course, Harry Potter, but not all the books. Like, I would suggest that a child starts by 8 and reads one book at a time and finishes it by the time they're 12 or 13. Not because it's difficult to read, because I think an 8-year-old or a 9-year-old can actually read all the series, but because of the themes, the depth, all that stuff, I think they need to be a little more older. So, Harry Potter. And by the time they're 10 or 12, I would say at least the abridged version of some of the classics by Jules Verne. If possible, the original, like if they're really good, I think by 10 they should be able to read Jules Verne, Around the World in 80 Days, and classics like that, The Invisible Man, Frankenstein. So the older science fiction books by the time they're 10. And I think every child should have at least read. If it's girls, then the Anne of Avonlea series, no, Anne of Ingleside, that one, Wizard of Oz, mostly the classics. I think children
Yeah.
have to read books. And even like my son's bringing the Dr. Seuss books, like The Cat in the Hat, for little younger
I used
children.
to love them. Now it's
So
giving
I think,
me all the memories.
yeah.
Like,
So
I got this one about nocturnal animals. It talks about diurnal animals like us. And I also got the one which they almost get stuck with sharks.
yeah, these are amazing for 5 or 6 year olds because they help in reading practice and they help the child to learn new things and practice reading and to learn the phonics and without even realizing they learn that. So it's an amazing
Yes, ma'am.
so,
So I think that's all. We come to an end to our interview. And thank you so much, ma'am, for joining in. And thank you so much, Adhruth. Thank you for coming.
I just want a small point, Aradhana, because this is something many people tell me that, and I'll be quick about it. Many people tell me reading storybooks is a waste of time. They say this is a stage for children, they're in school, they should be studying their textbooks and all that. And I want to say that storybooks train your memory. They train you to retain things. When you're reading, you remember the characters, events, sequence of events. So it actually helps you to retain, I mean, trains your memory. It helps you to easily make connections. So an event, so and so's brother, so and so's father, like XYZ was living here. You
Yeah,
know, Peter
memory
was
skills
Dan's brother.
actually help you in academics also.
And it'll help you to form connections. And the more you read, obviously practice makes perfect, so you start reading faster, so you'll be able to go through your textbooks faster, and you'll be able to retain the memory, you'll be able to focus for a longer time. So a child who's able to concentrate for 15 minutes, when he's actually a child who reads, will be, and I'm sure you've experienced this, will be able to focus on a textbook for half an hour very easily. So actually reading storybooks will help you to study easily.
Yes, ma'am.
And
I really agree with this. Yes, ma'am.
so I want,
So much.
because I get that a lot from parents.
Yes, ma'am. I agree, ma'am. I get it from my friends also. You know what? Next time I am going to like have a personal call with you. It's only gonna be you and me, and then you're gonna tell a lot about your books. Okay?
And take a mommy.
We'll take you for around in the car when I'm there.
Okay.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, Adhruth, for joining, and thank you so much, ma'am. It was really nice talking with you and gaining so much knowledge from you. It was actually like a chill talk with someone you knew like for a long time. It was really nice with
That's
you.
I heard a lot about you, Aradhana. I think my husband very rarely comes back and talks about people, and you're one of them. So for me, it's like meeting a celebrity. I'm like, oh, okay, that girl. Okay. So
Thank
it's a
you.
real pleasure
Mom,
meeting
we
you.
have very less time.
Okay.
We are using spare time now.
Okay, okay.
Okay, thank you.
No,